Jim, I talked to you last Friday, and you agreed that this was the biggest rout of Bilderberg ever. Do you still follow that line?
Oh, absolutely. And I found a note I was looking for before inside the Bilderbergs that were saying that United States society, American society, needs to be, quote, Europeanized. And the new health care reform legislation is, quote, a significant step, quote, but more must be done. Well, of course, they overlook the fact that nations such as Greece are in financial straits because of the government-provided high-paying lifetime jobs, unable to fire incompetents who retire at age 50 with full benefits. But they place Europeanizing on Obama's agenda. And that quote I was looking for before was from Henry Kissinger. If, quote, if the euro is lost, our cause is lost, quote, Kissinger told Bilderberg colleagues on Saturday, June 5. Iran and some Gulf states are dumping the euro and buying bullion, unquote, after June 5. If Spain's economy collapses, more EU countries would be under pressure to themselves abandon the euro. Quote, we just can't let that happen, quote, responded another, as Rockefeller, teetering on his cane, nodded in agreement. So their efforts to turn the United States into the American Union their ambitions are unabated. They're losing on that front as they're losing on almost all fronts, but they're still determined to pursue that evil. Because
they've still got control of the central banks, and they can still rob us blind. But it appears, Jim, do you agree, the tide is turning, but that makes them even more dangerous, wanting to launch a major war as a political way to unify the people?
Yes. And the reason they're being set back is because of the growing awareness, even of Americans, because in this country, if you're not, it's the smaller, independently family-owned newspapers and independent broadcast stations that do give it well, like your own broadcast outlet, give it good, serious attention, so that Joe Sixpack is growing more and more aware. And as that one Bilderberg kid said earlier, they get in trouble when they go home. That's why congressmen don't attend anymore, because they got too much flack from their constituents, and they've said so.
Anything on BP, Jim? In the 60 seconds we've got left.
Yes, I was okay. Well, find my notes, but I do recall that there is there were predictions that yes, we'll have to. It's going to cost us some money. Gas prices will have to stay down in the United States for a while, but go up later. But we'll overcome this. It's the biggest bill we've ever had, but we'll overcome it, and we will make money. So things like that. Even though their competitors, there's also
great job, Jim Tucker.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Well, amazing information from Jim Tucker, and he's very careful to go directly off his notes from his sources. Finishing up with Mark Anderson, deputy editor of American Free Press. You'll learn even more in this week's issue that's about to come out. It's a once-a-week newspaper, and a lot of key information there. And you can't get better info than anywhere else on Bilderberg. You can subscribe at AmericanFreePress.net. Mark, finishing in any other intel points that Jim forgot to cover that you want to go over, or anything else that you gleaned that's important for this worldwide audience to hear today?
Well, one thing Jim mentioned I also got from a decent source, and that is the Iran situation, where Iran is reportedly dumping the euro and buying gold bullion. There's also a little additional point that they might switch to the dollar as well as gold. That's just a little item that didn't happen to get mentioned by Jim.
Yeah, that was on actually Press TV about 2 weeks ago. So Bilderberg was talking about that. The official government channel said that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, what you see here, Alex, I think is a pattern where Iran is among those nations that doesn't want to join the global matrix. They might want to have more energy independence. They might want to have more financial independence. And they're not part of the global core, you might say. And what the Bilderberg Planning Commission does, and that's what it is, a planning commission, is they look for nations that are recalcitrant, those that don't want to join the global matrix. And these nations are ostracized and basically forcibly annexed into the system. And I think that they just see Iran, the ancient Persia, a country with an incredible history. They just see it as this renegade nation when, in fact, they're really no tangible threat at all by any logical means. And that's why American Free Press ran the full text, or much of it, from the Iranian leader when he spoke to the United Nations a few weeks back, so people would actually knew what he said and not tell us what he said and distort everything, because going to war with Iran would be a terrible tragedy across the board and drain us of even more blood and treasure. And if that's on the Bilderberg agenda, that has to be the utmost thing to oppose and expose.
Well, I want to be clear from the intel I got from you, Skelton, Tucker, and other really good sources, plus we can see the Bilderberg Group members saying on the world stage, they are in trouble. Their agenda is in trouble, but they were already in control of almost every nation on earth. They're just trying to expand that control. So we're not saying that we're out of the woods. We're simply saying these people are not invincible. Some people spin it and say, oh, Alex is saying everything's fixed, or some people are spinning it and saying, Alex is, telling us we've won. No, I'm just reporting the facts that every indicator we've got shows that this global empire is having control problems. They're having problems maintaining control, and they're having bigger problems expanding control. Mark Anderson, do you agree?
Yes, I do. I think the pivotal timing, as I mentioned earlier, of all this heavy media coverage in a place like Spain really caught them off guard. There's every indication they left a little early, that they were kind of smoked out of there. They were already having trouble. They wanted their New World Order 10 years ago, according to Jim Tucker. This is not to say they're not invincible, but they're not beat either. I think you've got it right. It's somewhere in between. That's what all our sources are telling us. It was an amazing burden on Spain and on their public purse to have this. That didn't help them either.
Yeah, that's big news. It's in the major Spanish papers that the Catalonian police said, we do not want to be forced to guard these people. They should have hired their own security. Yeah,
and so public relations-wise, Bilderberg came out really smelling bad. And what this will do is make it so other host nations will be a little bit more hesitant about hosting such a kind of tarnished group. Who wants Count Dracula to visit you for dinner? It's not very good for your reputation.
Mark Anderson, incredible job. Thank you for sharing all this key information with us. People can find out more at AmericanFreePress.net and our stories at Infowars.com. God bless you, sir.
All right, thanks.
You bet. All right, we're going to talk to James Dillingpole, writer for the London Guardian and best-selling author of the oil spill, the Obamanoids, the carbon tax, all of it.